Dr. Phil, he's about to teach you some games. He'll Dr. Phil your mind with knowledge. He'll Dr. Phil your heart with pain. Dr. Phil is the man down at Miami U. Dr. Phil's about to teach some games to you.
Hey everybody, so you're going to start doing some podcast material for this week. And so one of the things I want to do is show you how to get started with Audacity, which is a free audio editor. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take you all the way from Google through this whole process. So you can go to audacityteam.org if you want to, or you can just Google Audacity, which will get you to here. You want to download for whatever platform you are on. Obviously, I'm going for Windows here. You want to get the installer. Here we go, Windows installer. You're going to give it a second to download. Thankfully, my network's moving pretty quick today. So the next thing you want to do is click here. I'm going to do OK here. And it's all popping up on my other screen, so I'm going to move it over. I'm going to go to next. You want to go here. You want to go ahead and just put it where it wants to go. Let it create a desktop icon. Install. It doesn't take particularly long to install. Click next. Click finish, and it'll launch for you. And it's going to pop up. Again, mine popped up in the wrong window. And so you're going to see something that looks like this. So this is the Audacity software window. I'm going to go ahead and make it full screen here. You want to make sure that it is recording your actual microphone. As you can see, I have a lot of stuff here. So I'm going to select my Arctis, which is my headset. I'm on stereo. My headphones are selected there. And so to create audio, all you're going to do is hit record, and you can see it is now recording my voice. You can see the sound waves coming across there. It should be a good enough piece to start with. So the way this works essentially is if you think about cutting and pasting, just you're dealing with sound waves instead of images or text. I hit green, and you can see it is now recording my voice. You can see the sound waves coming across there. It should be a good enough piece to start with. All right, so the first thing you would want to do if you were going to edit this up is you can see I pause when I talk. A lot of us do. I pause in kind of weird places. So the first thing we can do is just take those pauses out. And you can decide how many of them you want to take out when it starts to sound unnatural. And if we hit play again, record, and you can see it is now recording my voice. See the sound waves coming across there. Should be a good enough piece to start with. And so let's say for some reason I don't want to say this word here. That isn't actually a full word. What's this here? There. All right, so maybe I don't want that there. I could just highlight it and delete it. And now when I hit play, coming across, it should be a good enough piece to start with. So you can see that's how that works. Now, the next thing you could do when you're editing here is, we're going to want to mute this for now, but I can, whoops. So now that I've shown you just how to do a quick recording, I'm going to do this just for a second. I'll hit stop. So we hit play. I'm going to do this just for a second. So you can see there the spacing. I can go in here. So the first thing I can do is delete my Then I can also press this together like this, like that. And so now what you get is, I'm going to do this just for a second. So you can see how that worked. Now, if I go up here to tracks, I'm going to add new stereo track. You can see there's a second track there. Now, over here in the other window, I have a piece of music. This is KK Metal from Animal Crossing. I'm just going to take a chunk of it here. And because I'm not really going to do anything with this file, I didn't check. Normally, you'd want to play here. And wow, this is a big window. Normally, you'd want to hit play there and see what's going on. I'm going to take this right here, and I'm going to paste down here. So now what you're going to see is whatever is underneath is going to play along with everything else. So I'm going to turn the sound on this down a little, otherwise it's going to like drown me out. And now when I hit play, I'm going to do this just for a second. So you can see I'm going to do this just for a second. So that puts that sound underneath me. And then I can also go up here and go to add new, add another stereo track. Now, if I want to record more, I need to mute these two, otherwise it'll go through as I record. So here's part 2, adding a little piece there. All right, so now let's say I want this to play almost at the very end of that. And so then we go back up here and unmute, and then we hit play. I'm going to do this just for a second as I record. So here's part 2, adding a little piece there. So you can see, as deep as you get this and as many pieces as you put on, whatever is below that playhead when you hit play is going to come through. And you can have 40 tracks if for some reason you want to. I don't recommend doing that many tracks. That's a lot for a podcast. But you can see how you could layer voices together. You can layer your own voice. You can put music under it. You can change the volume of various tracks here. There are also effects you could apply up here if you want to go crazy with it. Like echo and stuff on through this too. So we'll put an echo on there. I'm going to do this. And if you click out so that it'll play all of it, you can kind of hear the difference. I'm going to do this just for a second as I record. So here's part 2, adding a little piece there. So that's basic editing here. The last part I want to show you is how to install the codec so that you can output this as an MP3. Okay, so if you type lamelib, Lamelib Audacity, it will bring you to here. You want to grab this file right here, which is lamelib 3.97 zip. And now we're going to make our window small. Drag this over here. Going to extract everything from it. My extract dialog came up on the other monitor, but I'm sure you all know what an extract dialog looks like. So then you're going to end up with this folder right here, and you're going to click there, and you're going to see a file called lame encoder DLL. You want to take that, and then you want to go here to your files. I'm going to pull that out, put it on the desktop so you can see it. So it's right there. Now you want to go to your C drive, go to Program Files, Audacity, Plugins, and we just drop it in there. And it should copy. I'm not sure why it is taking 1,000 years to move. Maybe there we go. It hated my computer for a second for some reason. Now, if we go back to Audacity, which we could do by clicking on the Audacity window, you're going to go up to File, you're going to export as MP3. And you're going to put it on the desktop, we're going to call it bad, because what we made is a bad file. You're going to click Save. To tell you this is going to mix it down, that's fine. You can put your tags in here, so I'm not going to put all this stuff in, but if you want to put all this information in, you can. You click OK, and it is going to export. It looks like it wasn't very big, so it exported fast. And so you end up with this file right here that says bad. You click on it. We're going to play with Windows Media Player. And so there's my, I'm going to do this, file that I created as I record. So here's part 2, adding a little piece there. So you can see I made a really, really terrible audio file in just a few minutes. And so that's the way that you will edit with Audacity. And if you need more help, there are numerous Audacity tutorials that I will upload to class, but those are the basics. And if you want to use a different audio editor, that's fine. If there's something you're more comfortable with, something you're more familiar with, I use Audacity because it's free and it works relatively easily. I recommend saving a lot because sometimes Audacity will kind of fall off on you. Another thing that's very important to remember is when you create an Audacity file, if you're not done with it, like if you think you might edit it and then export it again later, make sure you don't move any of the audio files that you use to create it, because what Audacity does is it creates markers within the software to where the data is on your computer. So for example, if you use a song that's on your desktop and then you move it and you try to export that file from Audacity, it will not come out. The other major thing, and this is super, super important, So write this down on a Post-it note and stick it to your computer. You have to export your file as an MP3 in order for someone else to hear it.
He'll, doctor, fill your heart with pain.
If you save an Audacity file and send it to someone, it is absolutely worthless. So make sure that you export every single time. So that's the basics. If you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, have fun with your first podcasting experiences, and I will talk to you very soon.
He'll, doctor, fill your mind with knowledge. He'll, doctor, fill your heart with pain.